Alright guys, it's Eddy from Victini Vision here, and welcome to the next episode of Epic Sunday. Today we're going to be looking at some cool replays, including the tournament battle between Stealth Monkey and Wabster. We're going to be looking at the battles that went on there, as well as another battle that I had that I thought was really cool. And there we go, we got a free spell, so that's nice, and a free chest. So, let's have a look. Okay, so before we start the episode, I'm going to just quickly show you our clan. This is Team Victini right here. I'll show you. There we go. This is Team Victini. We have currently have a member slot available, and we are trying our best to get to 200th in Great Britain. It's totally possible as long as we get some great members together. Try to have over 800 trophies, preferably 1,000 if possible. Join in, help GB Team Victini get up to at least 200th place. If you're struggling for the trophy limit that Team Victini is looking for, then please join Victini Vision. It's the feeder clan. If you have under 1,000 trophies or under 800 at the minute, then feel free to join this clan. And if you're a bit more casual, it's a lot better for you. Alright, so let's get into this. You'll notice that this first battle isn't actually a tournament because my phone account's in this. This was a practice battle that me and Matthew did. I knew that Matthew, or Stealth Monkey, was really going to be the underdog here, so I thought I'd use a deck similar to Wabster's and see if he could beat it and maybe practice a bit with that Inferno Tower, because we thought Wabster is certainly going to be using golems, because luckily Wabster has golems and Matthew, or Stealth Monkey, certainly doesn't. So I'm just going to speed this up in 4 times. It wouldn't be a long replay. I might even get like 4 replays up. Depends on how many battles it required, doesn't it, hey? So you can see he's using the giant skeleton. You can see Matthew's on the bottom screen and on top. He's using giant skeleton in order to stop my attacks. But there we go. He's almost got them both. I'm not even doing like practically any damage at all to his tower. And you can see there he's using hex reference to get yellow. So that was only a quick battle, but that was just to show you that Matthew had been getting ready for this fight. And this was going to be the fight for the reward at the end of the tournament. Right, so a couple of camera shuffles later, we're ready for the first quarter-final battle. So we're doing this in 1 times. You can see the troops on the right side of the screen, what they have and what they're ready to deploy. You can see that Wabster has vastly more trophies, and he is higher level too. Not within actual like level 8s and 8s, but I think in general the troops he has are a little bit better. As the variety are too, as you can see. Wabster is one of our best members, so I thank him a lot for joining our clan. He's very good. But you can see here, Wabster quickly finishes off some very, very admittedly light push with only a couple of archers and a tower, which he only managed to get 1 swing of the Valkyrie off. Technically it means that Stealth Monkey is in the lead here, but I'm sure that's not going to be for long, as Charlie deploys a golem. With spear goblins in support, you can see that Matthew is starting to really be on the defensive here, as he deployed a cannon which then breaks, but he uses the poison to slow the golem down so that the Inferno Tower can be used longer. But Wabster knows this and uses the freeze. Now he's piling the pressure on, but the Valkyrie quickly knocks out anything that gets in the way. But that golem explodes, and that makes 2 golemites come out. Matthew desperately gets another Inferno Tower down, which takes out the golemites. But then Valkyries come in. Luckily the Inferno Tower is great for taking out Valkyries as well as golems, and then can help out with even spear goblins in the end. Inferno Towers are very good, but I do think they are a bit on the expensive side when it comes to defense, so they're not always good. If someone's using a spawner deck, they're practically useless if they have mostly spam and only a bit of tankiness. But it's great against Wabster's deck. It is a really big weakness of his, since he does have a couple of tanky troops there. But he uses free spell to counteract that. At the minute it's a bit of a stalemate, getting those elixir pumps down, but there we go. Starting a push, and Matthew was sure to save up enough elixir to be able to get minions to support his giant skeleton. And a Valkyrie there. That's going to stop the bomb from getting to that tower, and only minor damage was done. In fact, I'm not even sure if any damage was done. No damage was done to that tower in that attack. The thing is though, on the right side, that tower took damage from those golemites and their explosions, so it's really not looking good for Matthew at the minute. Although, not all is lost in this battle, I'm sure. We'll see what happens. So another golem's put down, and it's level 2 golem. That's something that you should keep in mind. It's level 2 golem. It's not just level 1 that even if Matthew had, would be weaker. So he uses poison early on. Now I wouldn't have done that. I'd probably have waited for it to move on the cannon and then do it so the Inferno Tower can last longer. But I'm sure there was a lot of pressure at the time, I don't blame him. But there we go, he melts it with 2, but the zap stops it, and the freeze. He's using everything he can to slow stuff down, which is a very clever thing for Charlie to do, but the cannon, that's not going to let him get far. I'm sure Matthew was not wanting the golem. Just in case that Inferno Tower was to go down, I'm sure he wanted that cannon. But it's going to overtime now, as the Giant Skeleton moves in. The problem with the Giant Skeleton, whilst it's extremely good, it can be kited very easily, and since it's not, even though it's a big troop, since it's not going, like, prioritising defences, it's always dragged off really easy. You need a lot of support and someone to be pretty clueless to make a Giant Skeleton work, but when they work, they're great. Another very important way to use them is defensively, so they can self-destruct and knock out a spammy attack, or even a fairly tanky attack, very easily, like that. Like that. So even if the Giant Skeleton isn't doing well for you in attacks, it'll do well for you in defence. It can be life-saving in a tough situation. But the thing is though, Charlie is just going to use light troops, or even a wizard, just to drag it off to the side, and then a Valkyrie in the middle just to do some work to both troops. They did buff Valkyries, and they are much better than they used to be. They used to be very, very bad and not do as much damage, not hit as fast. I think they might have had a bit of a nerf to HP in Clash of Clans, because they were probably nerfing them, but look at... Sorry, buffing them, but look at that! 2 golems! Matthew's furious! Oh my god, what's going to happen here? What on earth is going to happen here? We'll have to see. So another Inferno Tower. That's the overtime double elixir effect for you. Look at all those golems going in. The golemites getting on that tower. Nothing really Matthew can do but just try his best with the Inferno Tower, but they didn't even get to charge up, and now he's had to use the cannon. It's really not exactly going to be an uphill... It's not going to be an uphill battle for Charlie, I should say. But there we go. Webster wins that round. What's going to happen in the next one? Round 2 of the first quarter-final battle. Will it be the last round? Or will it be the second to last round? That sounds so bad. It doesn't even sound entertaining. But there we go. We get elixir pumps being deployed by Charlie. Matthew, unfortunately, not getting it up straight away, so he has to deploy his cannon and deploy at least cheaper things just in order for him to be able to get to his elixir pump. But uses the fireball in order to damage the pump, so it's not making as much elixir over time, which is a very good idea. I probably wouldn't have come up with that straight away off the top of my head at that point. But there we go, he uses a goblin barrel, which is something that's very useful because it means they can do some chip damage. But the thing is, now he's used it, Charlie's going to be knowing that it's there, and now he uses a giant and minion horde in order to push back. He's using a completely different deck. However, I don't think Charlie's changed his deck at all. But Matthew's changed it, so will that be for the better, or will it be for the worse? So the Giant's on practically full health. Even though Charlie froze that tower, he didn't really spend much time actually trying to destroy it. Like, there's no point freezing a tower if you're unable to do it after. So if you freeze it, great, but what are you going to do after that, you know? So it's good to wait for the freeze, but I'm sure Charlie wasn't expecting that at the time, so let's not blame him. Golem's going to go down just before it gets there, at least they didn't get any big hits off. And then Matthew deploys a fireball, which is very good. Some indirect damage, so that he can continue. So, Golemite on the tower, not doing much damage. Matthew's managed to take out one tower, surprisingly, with that giant that was left. Luckily it had over half health, so it did a lot of damage, and eventually took out that tower. So Matthew's deciding, should I use a giant start pushing? Should I use a goblin barrel? He's not sure. But Charlie knows he needs to get an elixir pump down. Now if I was Matthew, I would have done the same. I'd have took advantage of that time when no one's doing anything. But that goblin barrel did work, so maybe he could have done both. But let's not judge him. There's a lot of pressure in this. You do win a prize. So, minion horde on that Valkyrie, very good, very good. Level 8 minion horde. I mean, a lot of people just request minion hordes, knights, barbarians. It's the mainstream kind of thing. I mean, I'm getting to the point in my phone where I am just requesting barbarians because everything else is high enough. Or wizards, because no one's got any wizards and no one donates them, but because they're so valuable. We're at the point where most people are in Spell Valley or Pekka Playhouse in this clan. We need people higher, or we just need more of them. This is why I advertised at the beginning. But anyway, that fireball was incredibly useful. But another golem! Charlie's strategy must be, use a lot of spam, get your golem. Well, you get your golem, use a lot of spam, and then another one. So that's going to make it incredibly hard. Will Matthew be able to stop this? And even if Charlie gets through, will he be able to follow through and get 2 or 3 towers? We'll have to see. The Golemite's on the tower, and that golem may as well. I call them golems or golems, by the way. And they're getting through. The double freeze! Who freezes who? Yorgis is as good as mine. Charlie doing everything he can to get that tower out. But no. if that game went on for 5 or maybe even 10 more seconds, it would have been a very different match, I'm sure. So, it's 1-1. Hello. It's 1-1. Who will win the first quarter-final game? Okay, so it's round 3. This is the break point. This is the match point. Whatever they say in tennis. I don't even know. So, I think Charlie hasn't changed his deck again, but Matthew has changed his deck slightly. He has a hidden Tesla in there, but I don't even know what else is in there. But for now, we can see a hidden Tesla is new. Maybe he's got something else in the back part. But he's using mostly defences. Maybe he's trying to get a quick win and be defensive with that Goblin Barrel. Because that Goblin Barrel at least got a couple of hits off. Remember that the impact of a Goblin Barrel does damage. It's actually a good way to take out very light spam. But there we go. He's using Giants again. That's the thing that he keeps in common. And he's using that Fireball to take out the Wizard before it's a problem. But unfortunately, a level 5 Wizard can take quite a lot more damage. But the cannon's also going to run out just beforehand, which means that not even the Fireball's going to be able to back up. But luckily, the fact he brought in Hidden Tesla, that's going to help a lot. His Elixir Pump is just about to run out, so there might not be any distraction. And that Goblin Barrel will take advantage. That's very good. Oh, but the Zap. The Zap takes it out. The Giant doesn't do any damage. That must be painful for Matthew to watch. The Hidden Tesla and the Cannon working together on the Golem. Is it this? It's just not the same as an Inferno Tower, is it? But they're very expensive, so let's not blame him. So I think he might just be able to break the Golem, but those Golemites, they're always going to be a problem. They're level 2, and I guess at this point in the game, these two don't really have the arsenal to take out a Golem very quickly, even in Inferno Tower struggles. So there we go. Wizard down, tower on the right, critically damaged. The tower on Matthew's, on the enemy tower for Matthew, is not as badly damaged at all. We'll have to see what happens. It could go either way, really. As we've seen in the last game, everyone thought that Matthew was going to lose. Matthew was the underdog here. You can tell by trophy count who's higher and who's more likely to win. But as you've seen, both teams have won a game. It's just up to who can break through, who can counter, who can do all the right things. But there we go. We can see the Giant gets a hit off, but the Minion Horde, which is probably the best thing that Charlie could have deployed there, gets it before it can get 2 punches off. Or before it can get more than 2, I should say. Golem at the back. It's a very good thing to do to stack, but well, those goblins are going to go for the tower, but not quite though, because those normal goblins sent in to counter them. Fireball does some damage to the golem, but it was a very desperate fireball. Maybe it will wait still a bit of elixir, but no, Matthew sets up more defences. He's ready for the attack. However, the Spake Golems are going to make the golem run faster, and the Minion Horde. He's going to need to arrow that. Oh god, and then he might need to freeze them too, but it's 2 golems doing the double golem push. Now Minion Horde, that very good, but luckily the Wizard goes down, but the Zap. Hopefully they're going to do something, but the Wizard comes in. Oh, it's going to knock out that Minion Horde. Oh no, not looking good. Can he win this? Will he? Look at this defensive wall. It's like Guantanamo Bay or something. Just look at me, I don't even know myself. Alright. So, it's not... I'd almost say it's a stalemate with the defences, but the defences are all going down after nerfs. And that Zap takes them all out. Charlie was expecting that. That's the problem. I'm sure Charlie's always going to have something up his sleeve to take out that Goblin Barrel from now on. So we'll have to see. The Goblin Barrel's fairly useless now. I'd recommend using it in defence. But double freeze, one from each side, stops the enemy in their tracks. Both defences... Oh, Tesla going down before anything can happen. Hidden Tesla there. Oh, I wouldn't have done that, although... Actually, that's fine. I was thinking that maybe it would it might bring it towards the tower now the cannon's down. There we go. Well played. Matthew's given up at this point. I don't blame him. Very good job, everyone. That was a fantastic game. It was fantastic to watch, and that really, really makes me like the tournament even more. So, I hope you all enjoyed those replays. I hope that the next people in the quarterfinals are ready for their tournament. Those replays, you know, from that tournament battle were really worth YouTube status, I guess you could say. But thanks for watching, guys. I hope overall you enjoyed the video, learnt a couple of things from people slightly higher up than average. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. See you later.